Hi boys and girls, let's have some fun and draw together today. Maybe even your parents would like to join in. Anyone in your family is really welcome. Today's project is recommended for first grade. All you'll need today is a piece of paper, a pencil, and an eraser. Afterwards, if you'd like to color it in with anything that you have at home, would be wonderful. So let's begin. Let's start with our shapes. I'm going to use a marker so you can see better. Remember to hold onto your paper with one hand, draw with the other hand. The first shape is a circle. Anywhere on your paper, you can use a scrap piece of paper also. Next shape is a dot. It's a circle, but we color it all the way in, so we call it a dot. The next, do you remember the name of this line? Very good, boys and girls. Horizontal. Can we all say that together? Horizontal line. Next line, do you remember that one? Vertical. Very good. Vertical line. Very good. We have one more line. Remember the name of that one? Diagonal. Very good, boys and girls. Let's say it together. Diagonal line. Okay. Then we have our half circles. A U. An upside down U. Looks like a rainbow. A C and a backward C. All of these are half circles. So if we put them together, it would make a full circle. Then we have our angled lines, which are our V's. A regular V, an upside down V, which looks like an A without the crossbar, a sideways V, and another sideways V. Very good. Then we have a slightly curved line. Remember, it is not as curved as our upside down U or rainbow. It's not as straight as our straight line. That's why we call it a slightly curved line. Then we have our lazy S. Our lazy S laying down or horizontally, we call a hill and a valley. And then we've been doing spirals lately, which is just fun. So remember, you start in the middle. Looks like you're going to do a circle, but you go past that point and just keep going around. And remember, they make wonderful snails. That's why they're fun. All right, so those are our shapes. Remember, we're going to do them before every project because it just makes it easier for us to draw. Today's project is a turtle. I'm going to go ahead and have my paper the horizontal way. You decide how you want to have your paper. Remember to hold your paper with one hand and draw with the other. Alright, so here's our turtle. I'm going to go ahead and start with his eye. The way I'm going to make his eye is a circle. Inside that circle, I'm going to make a dot. I'm going to start a line right about here, and I want to be close to my eye. So I'm going to start right about here. I'm going to go straight. I'm going to pass my eye, and then I'm going to curve down. You decide how close it is to curve down. Here I curve down a little closer. Here not so much. I'm going to bring it down. Make sure you're past his eye, okay? Because the next step is we want to make his little mouth. So if you're past the eye enough, I'm going to turn that first thing into a little V. And then the next ones are going to be little bitty V's all the way across. Then, not to the edge, I'm going to come in just a little before the edge right about here. Does everybody see where I am? Come down with a little bitty line, and then I'm going to curve back. Okay. There I have my turtle's head. Make sure it's big enough for you. Okay, and that the lines are even here. I'm going to close this in. See how I closed in it with a slightly curved line? It's okay if you've got a little showing there and even a little showing down here. Okay? Because now we're going to start his shell. It's got a nice big shell. And those are nice, slightly curved lines. Remember, we've talked about those before. Makes a good football, makes a good eye, makes a good turtle shell. So you decide how big your turtle shell is going to be. You're going to touch right here, and you're going to start going back a slightly curved line. I'm going to go to about there. See, I'm trying to end into a point. So go ahead. Here, I think I made my slightly curved line a little lower from his head. If you like that, go ahead and do that. And then touch here, and another slightly curved line. Like I said, I'm going to try to end into a point. I'd like to do some flippers now before I do his bottom tummy right here. Okay, so my first flipper, I'm going to touch right about here with an angled line out. You decide how big yours is going to be. And I'm going to change directions. I'm going to kind of curve it. I kind of made a little curve and then change directions. Again, you decide how long your flipper is going to be. When you've decided it's long enough, you're going to go ahead and change directions by putting a half circle pointing in the other direction. Now, sometimes what I like to do is, if I know that I want my flipper to end here or be this wide, I might as well go ahead and put a little mark right there, because now I know that I just have to close this over to there and I'll be happy. So here it is, right? So I'm going to go from here to here, and now I've got the flipper as wide as I wanted it there and as skinny as I want it at the edge. All right, so there's one. The back flipper, excuse me, the back flipper is not quite the same. It's really just a long diagonal line. When it's long enough, curve it and bring it on back. So a very long U. Now we can put his tummy in. It starts a little bit here. It's going to be a slightly curved line. I'm going to say, excuse me when you hit the flipper. Hop over. Curve all the way to this flipper. Say, excuse me. And then tuck it in right there. So that's his bottom of the belly. And this is the shell. Are you all with me, boys and girls? Good. Now we're going to do this flipper. So I'm going to start right about here. Same thing, I'm going to go out with a diagonal line. Mine's not really straight. I'm going to curve it. Remember, I'm changing that direction and going back. You decide how long it's going to be. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to decide how wide I want it to be, and I'm going to make that mark right there. See that? I'm going to make this flipper a little longer, then curve it, and come back. Okay, so I have 3. I need one more. Remember, this one on this side's really going to be smaller than this side because it's on the other side. This one not so much because we're seeing both of them pretty, we're seeing both of them in a pretty good view there. So my little guy here, I'm going to start right here with a diagonal out, curve, and a diagonal back. So, nice turtle, I think. Now all you have to do is decorate his shell. So the way I decorated his shell is I started on the outside. I did very little slightly curved lines. Because remember, my shell is curved, right? So I'm not going to do straight lines. I want to do curved lines. So this is just for my outside of my shell. Okay? This is the dark green of my shell here. Now I'm going to close all those little slightly curved lines with little U's or more slightly curved lines, depending on how much you want to dip it. See how that's working, boys and girls? And now that's creating a space up here for the rest of the shell to have a different pattern. Take your time, boys and girls. I know I'm going quickly. You can always pause the video if I go too quickly. So you filled in all this area around his outer shell. And now we just have to work on his inner shell. Now notice there's lots of different sections that I've made, but all of them are all irregular. So none of them are really the same size, is what that means. And I didn't really use slightly curved lines. I used kind of wavy lines. Nothing perfect is what I'm trying to say. Okay? So I'm going to start here and I'm going to do one. And then I might start right there and do another one. So just jump in and start making little sections that's going to go around your first part of the inside here. All right, so now I have a little bit more. I'll close that in. No right or wrong, boys and girls. Okay? I'll do one more right there, I think. All right, I kind of like that. So wherever you wanted to close that in. Now, hopefully, you're going to color this in, and that's where it's fun to do patterns. Do you see my pattern? Every one of these has a yellow on the outside, a lighter green, and then almost a turquoise blue. I hope you have fun coloring that in. Let's talk about the rest of our picture. You have to think about what you want. If you want more turtles, go ahead and make more turtles. If you're done with your turtle, I'm going to go ahead and make my background. Okay. Mine is close to the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and give them some ground or some sand. Just going to do some slightly curved lines this way, and then maybe I'll even make one coming down this way. So now I've got some land to put some things on. I can put some seaweed up here. I can put starfish, some coral. I can make some more fishes. Well, I haven't done any yet, so we can make some fishes. Let's go ahead and make a couple of fishes. So first, I'm going to start with the circle. I think you probably all know how to make your own fish, but if you want to follow me along, feel free. I've got my circle for his eye, maybe a little dot in the middle of that. Mine is pointing this way. Can you see he's pointing this way? So I'm going to make a little sideways V. His mouth is open. I'm going to touch that, make a curved line, slightly curved line back. Another slightly curved line back. I'm going to give him a couple of curved lines right there for his gills. I'm going to keep going back my slightly curved line. I can either close that up, or at that point, I can just make his fin, which are 2 diagonal lines out. Close that in with a wiggly line. Maybe some diagonal lines in there. We need a few more fins up here. So I just went back with a diagonal line and then met the body again. Maybe he needs some bubbles, right? Right. So I would do a lot more fish. Usually there's more than one fish. It's called a school of fish. I think you should do a school of fish. Then, of course, like I said, seaweed. Starts from the bottom, comes up, back to the bottom, like a wiggly line. And I tried to get pointier here. Now, if you do any seaweed down here, just remember, you're going to want to hop over, say, excuse me, hop over, come on down, say, excuse me, and hop over. Because you certainly don't want to draw anything on top of what you've already done on your turtle or any fishes that you make. Coral, you can make any way you want. Here I just kind of made some tubular coral. So I went up with 2 lines, again irregular, so just kind of wiggly. On the top of it, I made just an oval, and I made several of them in different shapes and different sizes. Okay. Also, another way of making coral, I'll do another one over here, is just coming up again with the irregular shape, coming back down. Anything you want. You can twist and turn. Make some really fun looking things. And then coloring it in with really bright color always makes it look more like a piece of coral. And then, of course, please always sign your name. Remember, you're the artist. Sign it on the front. I'm going to sign mine. I'm going to date mine. All right. So here's our turtle. You have some coral, some seaweed, I only did one fish, but I hope that you make more fish. Remember, more fish is called a school of fish. So that might be fun. I miss all you guys. I can't wait to see you. I hope you like drawing with me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.